Hey there, it's Kimberly here with Knit for Brains, and today I'm going to talk about all the projects I did in January. We're going to do a big old wrap up, and was I able to stick with my promise of not buying any yarn this month? I don't know, so stay tuned. Hey there, well, welcome to February. So January was a busy month for me. I actually got a lot of projects done. So today I'm going to talk to you about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Oof, and there was some ugly. There was some definite ugly going on. But the first thing is, as you guys know, and I've been talking about this, and I'm going to continue talking about this the whole year through because this is my goal. Number one, my goal is no buy yarn in 2025. No buy. Stash only, stash buster, whatever you want to call it. It ain't happening. So we want to see if I was, or one, whatever you want to call it, I was able to go the whole month and not buy any yarn. Two, my goal was to try to use between 10 to 12 skeins of yarn. Now, I know that's a big, lofty goal because sometimes the skeins are nice and tiny. Sometimes they're really big. So, we'll see. But was I able to do that? And then three, the options were I have to do something knit, something crochet, something other, which can be amigurumi, could be weaving, something along those lines. Actually, yeah, so weaving could be its own separate category, but we'll get into that. All right, so let's dive in. So first things first, I did finish a sweater that I absolutely love, and it was knitted, and you know how I'm like, whoa, knitting. So I ended up using this Millhouse Super Bulky, which I like because you can get through it really fast. This came in from WeCrochet. Now, they have it on, and I think it's like maybe $4 or $5 a skein. It's pretty cheap. It's 100% acrylic, so it's nothing super fancy. But last year, they had this particular color, which is called Hot Pink. Go figure. They had this particular color on sale for like $1.50 a skein. So I bought a few, maybe 30 or 40 skeins in total. I think I had like 41 skeins of this stuff. So I found a pattern. It was a Vogue knitting pattern called a seed stitch cardigan, or seed stitch pullover, I think is what it was called. Ready to take a look? So this is the yarn that I used, and it was $1.50 a ball. And each ball it's a weight of a 6 because it's super bulky, 90 yards per skein or per ball. Coming in at $1.50. So like, I don't care what you make with this, you're going to end up, it's going to be cheap. It's going to be cheap. All right. So let's take a look at what I made. Yeah, ta-da! I love it. I absolutely love it. So it's just a regular seed stitch sweater. Yes, it was a 3/4 inch sleeve. That's what the pattern called for. And I had enough. I have a lot left over. Like I could make this a couple times over, but I used another ball and I made this cute little like twisted headband ear warmer thing. But isn't it cute? I really like it. Super simple pattern. It's just a seed stitch, which is just knit and purl back and forth, knit and purl back and forth. And then so the knits go over the pearls and the pearls go over the knits. There might be a couple little areas where I screwed up and did like all of it together, but I'm not really missing it. But isn't it cute? And it's actually very warm, super, super soft. And I do love the hat thing. I think this is, and it's really warm. It keeps me very warm. So first one done. Now this took me 9 skeins of this, 10 for this. So I used up my 10 skeins. So actually I hit my number just with this sweater, and I was very excited about that. Right? It's just so like warm and cozy. I am really in love with this thing. And being that it's acrylic, I was a little bit worried that it was going to get really pilly or really hot in our Southern California weather, but it's perfect. And we're going to be going on a trip where we're going to be really cold at the end of the year. So I'm actually kind of planning and making projects for that. But this took up 10 skeins. So that would be basically 1,000 yards of this stuff. And that means I still have 31 skeins. I can make this sweater a lot of times over, or I can make something else, which of course I'm going to make something else. Anyways, but I ended up really liking this. I really, really loved it. It did work up fast, but it's still knitting. Yeah, so we just do some big old fat chunky needles. But it was just called the Seed Pullover, and it was by Vogue Knitting, and it's on their website. It might have been free or it might have been like $1. So this is technically my $15 sweater, not including the time that it took me. And this is my $1.50 ear warmer, which I know is kind of big and fat. I probably could have made it a little bit thinner, but whatever. I don't care. So yay, woohoo. First goal achieved, 10 skeins of yarn, and I didn't buy any to make this. So there you go. I'll include the link. If you want to check this out on the WeCrochet website, they have a bunch of different colors. And I highly recommend this particular yarn. It's called Millhouse Super Bulky, 100% acrylic. It's by Meridian Millhouse, but it's on the WeCrochet website. And this, they might even have like this electric royal blue that's on sale right now. But last year they had this guy on sale, and I think it was like $1.50 a ball. All right, so the second thing that I did was recently I was talking about the renew, reuse, recycle yarns that are out there. And I did a whole video and you guys really responded to it. Thank you. I think this is really an important thing that we need to understand, that we need to kind of embrace, that we need to like give it a try. The yarns are really amazing. I'm going to actually show you a couple projects that I did in the month of January using these recycled yarns. I think it's important, but people were like, well, is the quality going to be there? Is the durability going to be there? Right now I'm saying yes. I mean, I actually made 2 things this month or in January with this yarn and I loved it. First thing, now, don't judge because the pattern's a little bit wonky, but you guys know I can be a little kooky, a little bit crazy. All right. I ended up using, so last year WeCrochet sent me some of their newest yarns to try out and I was very grateful. And she's like, you know, I know you're a designer. You can do something fun and funky. And I'm like, okay, I don't know where you heard that rumor. Anyways, so I ended up using 3 skeins they sent me of this Salvage yarn. And now this is, it's a sports weight. It's made by WeCrochet and it is made with recycled cotton. It is 95% cotton. And out of that 95% cotton, they guarantee that 62 to 75% of it is recycled. And then 3% is other fiber. So I don't know what that could be. Maybe it's just whatever they can pull into it. I don't know. Because it doesn't say it's polyamide or anything like that. It feels like 100% cotton to me. But they sent me 3. So I used Farmer's Market, which is like this kind of an apple green. Then I used Rain Barrel, which is sort of this bluish green, and then I used the last one was called Thrift Shop, and it had kind of a what I consider a celery color. Anyways, I found this pattern on Hobbii, and I thought, well, that's kind of cool and funky and spirally, and you know, considering I'm using a funky yarn, let's go funky. So I couldn't really get the pattern to do what it looks like here, but I still end up loving it. And because I had the 3 skeins, I actually needed 4. I added in 1 skein, which I have a lot of this, of the cotton bamboo linen from Lion Brand because the texture was the same. The yardage was the same. This one here comes in at 50 grams, 164 yards. And this is 40% cotton, 35% bamboo, and 25% linen. But it really feels more like a cotton and a linen, really less like a bamboo. And then this one here comes in at 155 yards, and this one again was 164. So they were pretty much the same. The balls looked and felt the same. And the structure of the yarn felt the same, and the weight was the same. The weight of this is a, what does it come in at? Doesn't leave a number on here, but I'm pretty sure it's a sports weight. So I used the Evergreen by Lion Brand, and this again is coming in at the sports weight. It all felt the same to me. I thought, all right, I usually don't like to mix brands and like to mix different types, but it was close enough with the cotton and the linen that I thought we can do this. And then the bamboo, it's all the natural fibers. So you ready? This is what it looks like. So this is the one side. This is using the Evergreen with the Lion Brand and the Thrift Shop by the WeCrochet. So you can see the yarn is super similar. Like you can't really tell when I was crocheting it, and even when I was feeling it, it felt like the same yarn to me. It really did. Here's the funky part. Here's the backside. What? So this is the Farmer's Market and the Rain Barrel colors. So I know they're going, what were you thinking? Because, well, I needed a 4th yarn, and I only had 1 ball of each, and my goal was not to use any new yarns. I thought, you know, this could be kind of fun and funky. See, I did get a little bit of that spirally look on these because it's basically a series of half double crochets and then double crochets and then triple crochets, and then you just sort of do it in a wave, right? And so I did kind of get a really cool, interesting looking wave, mostly with the color changes. But I dig it a lot, a lot. You want to see it on? Hold on. Right? Loving, loving this. And I just put like a little tank top on underneath because it did have some little holes in it. And then check out the back. And actually, I would probably tuck this in a little bit. I really dig it. I love the funkiness of it in the front. Now, if you're just like, oh, I don't know, the colors are too much, fine. Throw a denim jacket over it, and then it's reversible. You can either wear it this way, or I can wear it this way. Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays and alternate Saturdays, this dye. This one, Tuesdays and Thursdays and maybe every other Sunday, this side. Right? But, so you can see how the design of just the yarn going back and forth gave it this really kind of cool, funky look. And it's using all the recycled yarns, except for this green, which I got from Line Brand. But other than that, it is using the recycled cotton from WeCrochet, the Salvage. Now, it does have a little bit of the coarseness that you get from 100% cotton, but I'm okay with that. I think it's going to wash up really well. I didn't actually even block it. Oh, actually, no, I did. I did block this. I did block this, just a little bit of a little wet block. But I dig it. I really dig it. So what do you guys think? You like it? Like I said, it can be a little bit funky, but in terms of using these yarns, I'm a big fan. Big fan. So thank you, WeCrochet, for giving me the opportunity to try out this super fun yarn, and Lion Brand. And I have a lot of this cotton, linen, bamboo stuff. I have it in the lavender. This is sort of a sage or some browns or some different colors coming in. So, but the WeCrochet currently has this in stock on their website. I don't know if it's going to be limited edition. I don't think that it is. But you know, it's kind of more maybe of a seasonal thing. But I would say go and pick yourself up some. So 4 balls, and the balls are about this big. They're pretty small. And it took me like a weekend to make this thing. Really simple. And then I just kind of sewed it up here on the top, added a little bit of a ribbing edging here, and we're all good to go. But I'm digging this one too. Okay, so remember, we're still talking about the good. We still got the bad and the uglies to go through. So just hang in there with me. But that top takes 4 balls. So 4 plus the 10 I used before, that's 14. I have surpassed, I have blown through my goal. All yarns that I did not buy this year, didn't buy, had in my stash, used the 10 to 12. I've done 1 knit so far and 1 crochet. So keep up, but that's what we're looking at. All right, so these guys are done. If you're interested in this pattern, this came from Hobbii, and it was a free pattern, and it's so simple. Like, it's basically 2 squares. Now, you don't have to do the whole spiral thing. For some reason, I just couldn't get it to work. I don't know. I mean, I followed it exactly. It just didn't do the spiral thing. I'm not sure why. I mean, I even took, like, really copious notes and everything. The Brit was trying to help me figure it out too, but anyways. But this is free on the Hobbii website. If you go to their free patterns, just look up Kaleidoscope Top, and it's there. But you don't have to. You can just do a straight up granny square if you wanted to. It's basically just 2 squares sewn together. It could not be any easier, but it is supposed to be a little bit of a cropper. Okay. Now, I did say I was going to do 1 knit, 1 crochet, and at least 1 other, right? I am not an amigurumi fan. I didn't think. I might be an amigurumi convert. I mean, come on, right? And of course, you know, you're going to have Beaker. You got to have Professor Honeydew. You have to. These guys were so much fun. Each one took me about a day, 8 hours, pretty much. I'd start like at 3 or so in the afternoon, and I'd finish like 10, 11 o'clock at night, take out time for dinner. Is he not the cutest thing ever? Like that. Just like that. And then I had to find, now, the Brit and I had a little bit of a discussion. Because in the book, in the pictures here, so the Brit can see as well. This is the book I'm using. This is the Muppets official Crochet Amigurumi by Drew Hill. Highly recommend the book. I got it last year. I did a review on it, and I was like, I love these guys. I love the Muppets. So each month I am committed to making one amigurumi. Now, there's 16 patterns in this book, which means there's going to be a couple months where I'm going to have to do more than one, which is why I did these two guys, because they kind of go together, you know. Now, I might do Kermit and Miss Piggy. I might do Gonzo and Camilla, the chicken, because, you know, I mean, he'd be lonely for a whole month, right? But I will show you that in the picture. See, like this guy here? It's got a little miniature banjo. And the Brit was like, why are we buying doll furniture? I thought we weren't buying any yarn. Okay, Brit, you know what? This is not yarn. It's a little piece. It's a little decoration that's going to complete my Muppet. Okay? That's why I got it. So that's Beaker. And then Professor Honeydew. Oops. He's back over here. All right. He has the beaker. I found them on Amazon. They were like maybe $4, and I got it as a set. So, and they ended up sending me two. I'm not sure if that's what came, but the little teeny tiny beakers here, and then the little guys here. So we had a little discussion about that because I thought for the $4 that I could make him look, you know, and there he's like, where are you going to put him? I'm going to put him in my, like, you're going to see these, start to see all these Muppets here in my craft room. But it was totally fun making these guys. And it took, like I said, about a day, and I had all the scrap yarn for this. I already had the eyeballs. I think he should just go, I think he should actually. Like that. All right, so this yarn here that I used, which it actually called for his kind of a sagey color, and I was like, this is perfect. This is that Lion brand recycled polyester yarn that I was showing in the Renews Recycle. So this is, yeah, and it worked up really well. Didn't split. It feels very strong. It's actually really soft, believe it or not. I think it might be a weight of no, I think it's a 4. I said it was a 4. It was a thin 4. But this is all weight of 4 yarn. I think Drew uses best value in these. I'm using my Lion brand Schitt's Creek yarns that I have a lot of. But Drew, I'm loving these guys. Absolutely loving these guys. So hard. Just loving them. And then this here was just some scrap yarn that I had, also Lion brand, and then I got a pet brush. Brett was like, why'd you buy this? We don't have a pet. So I can, because a couple of them are going to have hair that you have to kind of brush and do this too. Britt and I, we don't fight. Like, we don't fight at all. It's really amazing. Like, people pay admission just to come and observe us, you know, like the pandas at the zoo kind of a thing. So it was a little like, why are you getting mad at me? Because I bought the stupid little things. Because he needs them, Britt. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put him in bed next to the Britt someday. So when he wakes up in the morning, he's going to be like, just like that. Like that. And it might freak him out, maybe. And then this one be right on his head. Like that. Aren't they? I love these guys. I love these guys so much. So 2. I did 2 this month. So I did a sweater. I did, now these are crochet. I did the knitted sweater, the crochet top, 2 of these little dudes here. And more. All right. So, highly recommend this book. I did a video on it before. I did a review, and now I'm working through it. And the directions are very, very easy. And, you know, as with an amigurumi book and an amigurumi pattern, you know, they're going to be similar, like the legs and the arms and that kind of stuff. So once you get the hang of it, it's really similar. But the yarns are just super basic. And I'm using up all of my stash. Well, I mean, like not even a full skein on most of these guys. So if you have scrap yarns, yeah, this is going to be an easy thing. Now, there are some other little miniatures that I could get to go along with these. But I told Britt, fine. I will say, I'm going to tell you right now, Britt, that one more is coming from Amazon, and it's this little tiny clipboard. but I didn't order the banjo for Kermit or the saxophone or anything like that. I wanted to, but I didn't. And I wanted to get like a little whisk for the chef, the Swedish chef, but I didn't yet. So we shall see. All right, next one. So these are all in the good category. These are like in the way good category. All right, I did a review on the Bernat all-in-one granny square blanket yarn, the real fat fuzzy stuff. I did it a couple weeks ago, and it's a meh. It's a meh for me. I mean, I did it. I ended up making, so each cake makes 4 squares. So I had 3 cakes, so I basically made 12 squares. These guys take maybe a half an hour a square for me. When I say meh, I'm not a super big fan of working with this really bulky blanket. I know some people do, and God love you. That's fine. It made my hands kind of tired because it's so thick and you're really kind of working at it, you know? But that's okay. And it worked out okay. It worked out okay. But there was a couple of times where I was playing, actually quite often, I was playing yarn chicken. I was like, oh, and to have to rip this stuff out because it's so thick and to redo it again is kind of a big commitment. And being that I'm only making it for myself, I was like, I'm just going to deal with it. Like this one, I ran a little bit just up there on the top, but you can kind of cover it, you know? And then the thing is in the last row, they give you oodles and oodles of this for your tie-in. So you'll always end up having plenty when you get to the last 2 rows, I think it is. I think it's 2 rows of this. Maybe it's just the one. Maybe it's just the one. But I did 12 of these. And so that means I used up 3 cakes of these guys. 3 cakes. And I'm going to count it because I bought it in 2024. And so I'm counting it. So that means here's 4 and 10 and another 4. That's 18. Holy moly. That's 18 skeins. 10 for the sweater and the hat. 4 for the top, 4 cakes for this. That's 18. I'm not really counting these guys because I didn't even come close to scratching the surface on those. And then I picked this color as well. And then my Roomba actually got a hold of this one. It tore off the tail and it drug it through the dirt a little bit, but whatever. So it's a meh. It's a meh for me. I mean, it's a meh. It's all right. If you're interested in it, I mean, it works. It does. I got these 12. So what I'm going to do now is I've got some more blanket yarn in the back. The new Bernat Mystical, I think they call it. They call it Mystical. And so I'll show you some squares for that. And I'm going to use that. And because I don't do blanket yarn. I don't necessarily, I'm not a big fan of it. Some people, like I said, some people are. Great. Love you. Because we can all be different here. We can all be different. So I don't own any more blanket yarn. I don't plan on getting any more blanket yarn. But what I am going to do is use that Mystical and make alternating squares. So this is going to be like one big blanket. And who knows, maybe then I'll like it. It's, you know, it is warm and cozy and it is very soft. So I made these 12 squares here. Okay. Let me tell you what I am obsessed with. All right, now I did do a review on this before, and this is this Flower Power. It's 100% acrylic. It is a very trendy kind of novel. I'm going to call it a novelty yarn. All right, even though it doesn't feel like a novelty yarn, but the fact that you have to only do like the circles and the, you know, the flowers and whatever else, it's very specific. I'm calling it a novelty. But I am obsessed. And I thought, well, you know what? I'm just going to make sure that all the colors work, because sometimes, you know, the colors are a little bit different. So I got this guy going. I might have ordered, this is all in 2024, but I might have ordered a few more of the colors. So I have this one here, which is called Dilly Daylily. Dilly Daylily. This one is called Dapper Daphne. Daphne. And so what I'm doing, I'm just doing these like mindless. When I'm just like, I'm tired of working on a project. I just want to sit and just do nothing, or something super mindless. I grab a ball of this and then I just start working on it. We're going to be going on a cruise at the end of February, and I might end up bringing a couple balls of this. Each ball makes 12 squares, or each skein, I guess I should say, makes 12 squares. This one here is called Rosy Disposition. I do not see any rose in this whatsoever. It's all orange. So where they get that, I don't know. I might have gotten a little obsessed with this stuff. Just a little. Because I might have bought a lot of these balls. Most of the colors. This one here is one of my favorites. This one is called Hyacinth Bouquet. And I've almost finished this skein of here. So I got all of these guys. And then I've got this, I think, Daphne color. Is that what I said? Yeah. So my goal is to just, throughout the year, I'm going to use up every one of these skeins. I'm making up every one of these, and I'm going to make them into big blankets, like big, like a picnic blanket, I think would be good. This one here is called Marigold. This one is called Bluebell. So I was having what I call a YouTube conversation with one of my peeps, and I'm sure you guys know her. She's got yarn too. Love her. And we follow each other. And she was making a cardigan with this one. And I was like, I love that color so much. And I'm a little obsessed with these guys. This one is called Wisteria. I'll see if I can hold them all up when I'm done. So I just reach in, grab a ball, and I make some, and then, you know, I put it away and do whatever else. This one is called Come On, Clover. That's cute. I did get a little carried away with them. Puppy Star. This one, so much. Dry Bouquet. But, you know, I figured it'd be have some browns in there. You gotta have some brown in your life, right? This one is called Cherry Blossom. Oops. I might be having an issue here. This one is called Red Hot Phyllox. I did tell you that I got a little carried away. This one, oh, hang on. Okay, here's some more of the Hyacinth Bouquet. That was my favorite. This one, hang on. Here's the end of my Hyacinth Bouquet. So that's going to give me another, probably 2. So I've done 10, I believe. Oh, I have another one around somewhere for this one. Daisy Me or something like that. Then I also got this one is called Peony Pop, and this one, the last one, is called Flower Field. So I ended up getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Maybe I got 15 balls of this last year. Maybe, because I was just obsessed. It makes, oh, here it is. It makes me happy. This one is called Forget-Me-Nots. Forget-Me-Nots, and this is what this little guy looks like. Oh, I kind of messed up that one a little bit. But, okay, so it was a little bit of a scientific experiment. I wanted to see, did they all work the way that they were supposed to? I have done 3 of the balls, and I'm here to tell you that yes, they do. Big success, huge fan of this stuff. Huge fan. It is fun. So if you just want to do something like mindless and, you know, while you're sitting watching TV and just, you know, like maybe you're a little bit burned out on your projects, maybe you got a little bit of Crojo going on, grab yourself some of this and just sit and make these. And I can do probably 4 or 5 of these in a night. It takes maybe half an hour. But look at, oh my gosh, how cute are they as they all come together? Where's my other little one in here? Somewhere down here. No, they're all, here we go. So these are the 3 that I have made thus far, these 3 colors. You know, what makes you happy in life? That's what you should do a lot more of. That's my motto. yarn and crochet and sometimes knitting makes me happy. And so I do a lot of it. And I am probably one of the happiest people that you're ever going to meet. I think that's probably a very true statement. All right, so these guys I'm just putting down in here, but I have 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't blame me if they're sold out. This is not my fault. 6, 7. If they're out of a color, just wait till it goes back in stock. It's not my fault. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, hold on. I got them. 13 and 14. And then that's 15. I'm sorry. Don't blame me. But the break can't even get mad because this was 2024, y'all. And what I'm just going to do is just, like I said, make them throughout the year. My goal is to have all of these done by the end of 2025. And then I'll have a really fun, cute blanket and maybe more with all of these balls. But I have done them. Trying to put it all away, trying to keep things organized. I'll be on that one in a second. It's just too much fun. It's just too much fun. And you feel like this great sense of accomplishment and success because you figured it out and you got it and it works. And you make these adorable flowers. Adorable flowers. So last year they came out with all-in-one granny square and I could not get it to work. Could not, hated it. And some of y'all loved me for it. And some of y'all were like, you're stupid. You don't know your math. And I'm like, y'all should be nice. Should be nice. It's not my fault. It didn't work. And the fact that I can make these work now tells me it really wasn't my fault. A stupid yarn. But now they figured it out. And big success. So I haven't finished up any balls of this, but this is in the good pile, not the bad and not the ugly pile, which we're about to get into. All right, so this guy's going back inside here. So that's making me happy. This is making me happy. And this can go in the good pile. It's just like, meh. It's okay. Meh. Whatever. All right. Let's get into the bad pile, shall we? Now, when I tell you bad, I don't bring a lot of bad here. But Lord, was this a bad one? Let me just tell you. First of all, I love the yarn. Totally loving the yarn. Not the pattern. My fault. I found a free pattern. You get what you pay for. It was called the Easy Versatile Vest. And it is a knit pattern. And I don't remember. You could Google it. Easy, like versatile vest pattern. Okay, so it's supposed to look like this. And it ended up looking like I don't even know. I don't even know where the head or anything is supposed to go in here. I don't know. What happened? I finished it because I was like, I'm not a quitter. I am not a quitter. I'm going to finish it. I like the seed design. Here's what I think happened. Now, I'm not going to claim that this person's a horrible pattern writer. I don't think so. What I think happened was, because it's supposed to be an easy pattern, you just seed stitch. But the pattern says like, okay, bind off 30 stitches here. And then, put onto a holder 20 stitches over here. But what it doesn't tell you is like, I would have liked to have some landmarks like, wrong side or right side. And maybe she said that, maybe, but like some charts, some diagrams, some pictures. So you know, like, okay, am I binding off on the same side that I'm doing the hold on, or some kind of landmarks? Because if you get off on your stitch count, or you're on the right side as opposed to the wrong side, that's what I think happened, is I was binding off when I should have been like holding. And it's like, it's the worst thing I have ever made. Ever. Like this, I thought would be salvageable. I even pulled up some of my, this stuff. I found a ball. I had one ball of this left, and this is by Lion Brand, and it's called the Faux Feathers. I was like, oh, yes, please. It's going to be adorable. It's going to be perfect. I'll figure it. There's no saving this thing. There is no saving this thing. Now, that doesn't say I'm not going to use this against this at some point, because this could be actually super cute. This yarn is called Circulo. I bought it. I had 2 skeins of it, and I don't even remember where I got it from. But I was like, I love the yarn, and it's got this really cool kind of a nebby going on in it. So, and I even love the seed pattern with it. But Lord have mercy. Like, this is what it's supposed to look like. And it's pretty. And it could have been really pretty, but so I finished it because I'm not a quitter. And I have to put it away because I worked on this for about 5 weeks. Like, I started the very end of December and I finished it at the very end of January. So it was like 4.5, 5 weeks. And I'm going to have to frog the whole thing. So I was so irritated. I just said, I literally went like that. And I threw it away. And the Brit was like, oh, she's really mad. She's really upset. I was hot, let me just tell you. Disgusted even. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the yarn, put it over there, and I'm going to just pretend that that's part of my stash. Rather than undoing the whole thing and winding it into ball and making myself more and more angry, I'm going to let it sit over there until I find a use for it, and it sheds. I'm going to find a use for it, and I'm going to crochet it, probably, because I still have 5 balls of this. It was in long hanks, and then I balled it up. I'm going to make it into something else. And I'm just going to leave it like that. And when it's time, when I find what I want to do with it, I will just crochet it out of that. Because I just can't touch it. Like, it just needs to sit over there and think about what it's done. That's it. You know, have you ever had those projects where you're like, you know what, you just go sit over there and you think about what you've done. That's where that project, that yarn right now is in timeout. The pattern is in permanent timeout. Yeah, no, I ain't doing it. I'm sorry, friend. I'm sorry. So maybe it was because it was a free pattern that, ball of yarn just came flying out, that, you know, you get what you pay for. I don't know. I mean, I'm all about trying to support, you know, the pattern writers always. But I will tell you, and I have made my own patterns in the past, sort of. I just kind of willy-nilly. You guys are like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. What did you do? I don't know. I just did it. But when you find a good pattern writer, and I mean like your Tony Lipsy's or Hannah Crochet or MJ Off the Hook Designs, or, you know, and there's a ton of them out there. They know what they're doing, and it's been tested by pattern testers. And I'm not sure that this was actually tested by a pattern tester. And maybe someone just wrote it and then put it out there. But not even. I'm not even. So that was the ugly. The bad was the pattern, and the ugly was what I just showed you. And that was being very transparent, because I was really, and even the Brit said, are you going to show that on camera? I was like, no. And I thought, I probably should need to, because I put a lot of work into that. So I'm counting it, but it's not something that I'm actually even going to be able to do anything with. All right. So that was the good. Beaker. And the bad and the ugly. And this one. And so I think I've had a pretty productive month. I think the total came out to 18 skeins or balls of yarn that I went through, not including whatever I went through with these guys, which wasn't really much. And you know what? I'm not hating that he's holding a little beaker test tube set. I'm not. I just hot glued those on there. Yeah. So I crocheted, I knitted something. I did another. I am actually, and maybe I'll show this to you when it's actually on the loom, but I'm taking Chris Acton's from Acton Creative, her Dress Your Loom course. Let me tell you, mind-blowing game changer. Like, I've had my loom and I thought I knew what I was doing. Oh no. Oh no, no. This is actually giving me a whole new love and appreciation for weaving. Now, the class is happening right now. It only happens twice a year. It happens in January and it happens in July. So if you're listening to this right now and it's close to January, sorry. But I'm going to be talking to Chris a lot more, and I'm definitely going to promote her course in July, because the way that she teaches, the things that she talks about, what she does is it's amazing. For me, it was a total game changer. Like, it was just like, boom, opened my mind up. For instance, I have never taken the heddle, which is what you put the yarn through. Never knew that came out of you should take it out of the loom. Never knew you could take it out of the loom. And I'm sort of embarrassed to even say that. I just, so you take it out and you lay it on a table where you're comfortable and you thread it. When it's all done, I'll have to show you guys, because right now we're still in the process. It's a 6-week course. You have access to the modules forever and ever. Once you buy them, they're yours. And these great printouts that she does. I cannot speak highly enough about this. Even if you don't have a regular floor loom, right? Because a lot of people are like, I don't have the space, I don't have the money, whatever. This technique that she teaches you, I will be able to use on my rigid heddles. I have an Ashford samplet loom, and I have a Schlatt, something, 20-inch rigid heddle loom, and I can use this technique with those as well. We are doing a floor loom project, but learning how to put it onto your warping board and then transferring it over to your heddle, you can do that on either a floor loom with what they call a variable dent, or the rigid heddle. You can do it on either one. Huge fan. Love Chris. I found a new friend, but I'm telling you, this course is amazing. So if you have a rigid heddle loom, or and you don't have a floor loom or whatever, I still recommend. And we're going to be talking about Chris a lot more. All right. Lastly, really quick, I started on my February projects, and I'll show you this, and it's going to be done at the end of the month. I have all of this Happy Place yarn, and this is only some of it. I have it this is from Tony Lipsy, TL Yarn Crafts. This is her Hobbii yarn, the Happy Place yarn, and I had a bunch of it, and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. So I kind of figured that February is probably going to be a little bit of a Tony Lipsy month. I'm doing this pattern right here, which was a free pattern where she used this Hobbii Happy Place yarn, or her collaboration with Hobbii. And this was actually a free pattern on the website. And I was like, it's cute. It's a granny, but I like the way we did a little bit of a blocking thing going on here. And I had the yarn to make it. So I am making this. This will definitely, I started it last night, and it's going super fast. Super fast. Loving it. Yeah, loving it a lot. And then she just does this really cute little border with the bubbles. So I'm doing that. There's another project that she has. I believe it's called the Bahama Scarf, something like that. So I'm hopefully to get that done. So that's going to be 2 crochet projects. And then I do have a knit project that I'm going to be doing using some purple lamb fiber. So I'll have to show you guys that stuff at the end of February. But right now, this was everything. My good, my bad, my ugly, and what I'm doing starting in February. Thanks so much for watching. This is Kimberly with Knit for Brains. I hope you guys enjoy what we're doing. Even the Brit has been doing some special guest appearances here and there. You saw we were working with the Lion brand Insta Knit yarn. So we're doing some fun stuff. So anyways, if you're just finding us and just joining us, thank you so much. We've gotten so many new friends, so many new subscribers recently, and I am so excited that you're here. We're doing more tutorials, more yarn reviews, some book reviews that are coming in. And again, the challenge this year is no buy yarn in 2025. We'll see if we can do it. January, we did good. I did 18 balls that I had out of my stash. Done. Tank, check, boom. Thanks so much for watching. This is Kimberly with Knit for Brains. And as always, I'll see you soon.